2023 Mathews Phase 433. That's what I'm talking about. Make sure to hang around to the end because I got a big announcement about this bow right here. Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel. MFJJ here with PodiumArcher.com talking about the Mathews 2023 Phase 433. What's new, you ask? Well, it looks a lot like last year's bow. At first glance, you wouldn't even think it was different until you start looking a little deeper. See them little black things in the strips in the limb? This bow has 8 limbs on it. Those are actually independent, individual pieces with a rubber piece pressed in between it when it's inserted into the limb and bolted together on the assembly. What does that do, you say? Reduces vibration and oscillation by 10 to 15%, and it is noticeable. You'll have to shoot it to tell. You can't just glance at it and look at it, but it does actually make this bow quieter and less vibration, which is pretty impressive considering the majority of the nation that bought a new bow last year bought one of these two bows for vibration purposes. So to improve on that, pretty awesome. But we'll run some arrows through it and tell you what we think. This bow is a same exact specs as a V3X33 last year as far as axle to axle and brace height. So it's 6.5, I believe, if I remember right, and 33 and 4 point, sorry, I'm going to cheat here. Yeah, 6.5, 4.68 pounds physical weight, and the crap. Draw length spectrum is 27 to 31.5, same as last year. Cam system is exactly the same. Module system is exactly the same. All that's the same, it's just the two things, the 8 limb system and this really snazzy looking new machined aluminum Mathews specific stabilizer that inserts in here. And they claim because it's machined aluminum and has less assembly insertion points like a carbon stabilizer would, where you have an aluminum piece glued into a carbon piece on either end, and that it goes through the riser and locks down to the full length of the riser, reduces vibration and oscillation in your stabilizer by up to 35%. So that's pretty darn impressive, which, you know, hey, it's very expensive. Forewarn you, spoiler alert, these are like 250 bucks, but it does integrate right into the riser and will have all your matching camo colors and solids that you make with all the different bows. However, if you just want to run a normal stabilizer, your stabilizer bushing is still there, so you're not stuck with this. Let's check some of the measurements and check them. All right, 33 axle to axle. I got 33 and 1/8. That's pretty close. 6.5 inch brace, and it's a 6.5 to the back side of the string. So without a grip on it, it would be 6.5 to the front. With the grip, 6.5 to the back of the string. Let's take our reflex measurement. And not surprising, this bow's got a 2.5 inch amount of reflex, so a little bit less than the 29, which is part of why I like it. That makes it a little more forgiving. Overall riser length, pocket to pocket, 33 inches, so the same spec. The axle to axle and the riser length are about the same. 4.7 pounds physical weight. We've got an arrow rest on here and that on there that wouldn't normally be on there when they're weighing it. Let's see what we come up with here. Coming in at 4.9, that's about accurate for those things. So it looks like we're holding them in spec pretty well. Let's see how fast this thing is. Okay, oh, I didn't draw it. Check the weight, let's do that. Come back over here real quick. All right, checking for actual draw weight. .6, so we're gonna turn that down a little bit just so we're being fair here. Half a turn, see what that comes out at. That's a lot. That was like 67 pounds.
That's gonna be
half turn, so go up a quarter. I only did a half a turn, geez. That's tough.
Full turn's like 5 pounds.
Yeah, no, just half a turn was like 3.5. All right, try it again here. 69.9, we'll go with that. Here we go. How does it feel? All right. 70 pounds, phase 4, 33 axle to axle, 350 grain arrow, 30 inches, 85% let off. Yeah, the cycle feels like identical to last year, which it should, because all the specs of this bow are exactly the same as last year's. It definitely has less vibration in it than last year's bow, which last year's bow was pretty dang impressive to begin with, so that's really saying something. I don't know if we're ever going to get to a point that you literally just can't feel anything when it goes off and nothing moves, but we're starting to get really close to that. Like it just doesn't, you can't feel anything, or very, 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 very little. Yeah, man. For no stabilizers and no vibration dampeners, that's just dead. Yeah, pretty impressive. Let's see how fast it is. So, speed test. 70 pounds, 30 inches, 85% let off, phase 4, 33 with a 350 grain arrow. This is supposed to be 336, I think. I'll triple check that for you guys. 322. I didn't put it right down the middle of the chronograph, so that might be causing that a little bit. Hang on. Go that way a little bit more. 325. Yeah, I was a little off on where the chronograph was. 325 twice. So we're going to give it 325 on 85%. Let's see what we get with 80% if it's a little faster. All right. Phase 4, 33, 80% let off, 30 inches, 70 pounds. Here we go. $323. $326. Try this one more time, because that just didn't seem right. $325. $323. $324. So triple check and make sure I didn't put the wrong module on here or something. Nope. That's a 70-pound module.
Didn't change the draw weight.
Nope. Yeah, so it's basically the same speed, maybe a foot slower, which is odd. Normally it goes up about 2. So I'm not sure why that is, but at the end of the day, it looks like that bow's about 11 feet shy of published speed. So I am going to have to give them a little bit of a hard time about being slightly under the 10-foot parameter that I usually consider to be fair. That being said, that bow is really dead and really smooth and really quiet. And it's $100 more than last year's bow. And I think that's relatively fair considering the improvements that's made in it. It's got to be quite a bit more expensive to make that limb assembly. So there's going to be some incurred costs in there. They're going to make that bow a little more expensive. However, 11 feet is a little too much. So we need to be a little more honest about that. That doesn't quite seem right. I may have to check another one later and see if maybe I got a slow one, and that is always possible. Every once in a while when you're testing one of these bows, you get just get one that's a little slow from what it should be, but I only have one to test right now, so that's what I got to go with. All in all, though, it's a pretty impressive bow. Like it a lot. Definitely going to be a good seller, and we should have 100 of those bows in within the first week, another 100 within the first month. So that's a pretty significant amount of product for you to come down and try and play with. And they are going to let me, at 50,000 views, give you one of these bows. But you have to follow on Instagram, you have to follow on YouTube, you have to comment, and please share this video. The only way you're going to get to 50,000 views with this video in a reasonable amount of time is if you share it with your friends and get your friends to watch it and get that viewer count up. So, most creative comment down below. When I hit 50,000 views, we'll get one of these for free. And if you would like me to build it and purchase parts for it from me, I'm willing to do that for you, and I'll make a video on it as well. So, get excited, share it with your friends. You might just get one of these for free. Thanks for watching.